What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Learning Conjugate YouTube channel. Today is dynamic effort lower body day, and you can tell right there on rep 1 that I need a deload. Things are starting to feel pretty sore. I'm probably in at least week 4 of training here, and this is, as far as the intensities goes, we are ramping up the intensity a little bit. So today on the menu is going to be 6 doubles instead of 8. Typically with speed day, according to the Westside Barbell Book of Methods, it would be 8 doubles. But then on week 3, I think it goes down to 6. And I certainly feel better about going down to 6 on week 3 because I'm starting to feel pretty beat up. This is a 17-inch box. We're using the safety bar. This is the Titan Fitness Safety Squat Bar version 1. 45-pound barbell, 17-inch box, and about 100 pounds in bands. Those are the Elite FTS mini bands doubled. Me being about 6 feet tall, it's about 100 in bands when I stand up. So just doing some warm-ups here. So this is 135 in bar weight. Again, plus the 100 pounds in bands. Just doing a few reps, trying to warm up and get things moving again. Again, when you're sore like this, guys, it's important to make sure everything's okay and still holding together. So today was only 6 doubles, which I was happy with because I'm ready to be done. And I actually had to cut my accessories short just because things were starting to not feel so good. So did the 135, here's 2 1/4, and you can see it's still moving pretty fast, not too bad. Pretty light intensity, even with being the heavier intensity weights, still pretty light. So here's 315, this is our working weight, again for 6 doubles. I didn't get it all recorded for whatever reason, just got a couple sets here, but back to the lighter intensity. You know, one thing I remember, Pavel was on Joe Rogan podcast talking about the Soviet training methods for Olympic weightlifting, and one of the things he talked about was how the Soviets, through their research, figured out that if you could handle a weight for a set of 10 reps, their research showed that 6 was probably the best as far as the outcomes. And they didn't necessarily know why, I don't think. They tried different rep ranges, and for whatever reason, 6 just came out to be the best for progress. And again, they didn't understand if it was like an endocrine thing or some kind of neurological thing. They really didn't understand why, but that was what they determined. It's just, again, kind of empirical research where they just experimented with different rep ranges, and that's what they found out. So anyway, kind of one of the reasons why we use lower intensity weights, I guess, in the conjugate method. Anyway, so then we moved on to speed deadlifts. And by the way, I would recommend you watch that episode of Joe Rogan. We did speed deadlifts with 435 in bar weight for, again, 6 doubles. My best pull off the ground, sumo, is 600. At that pin height, it is 545, so I'm pretty disadvantaged in that position. I think it's because it just takes away a lot of my leg drive, and I guess I tend to rely on leg drive quite a bit to deadlift. Probably a lot of you guys do too. Then we moved on to reverse hypers. Again, with this being speed day, dynamic effort day, it's higher volume, lower intensity, so you can see there's only 180 pounds, it looks like, on the reverse hyper there, and we're doing higher rep sets. Again, I think I was doing sets at 20 here. Can't really remember. It might have been 25, but I think it was 20. And again, it's because I'm just starting to feel pretty beat up. I know at Westside, I went back and rewatched Louie's part of one of the DVDs. I can't remember which one. It was the one where Laura Phelps and Phil Harrington were doing speed training, and it was super intense. Like no rest periods basically between sets. And I think they did 12 doubles. So, man, shout out to them if they ever see this, because that was a crazy, brutal workout. But I remember in that DVD, Louis saying that one of the mainstays at Westside was the belt squat. I knew the reverse hyper. He said the reverse hyper and the belt squat, which everybody knows the reverse hyper. But the belt squat was one that I guess I didn't realize as much. And he mentioned specifically in that video about how he felt like his quads were lagging behind the rest of him because he'd been box squatting for a long time. And so his hips were strong, or stronger. He just felt like there was sort of a lag in his quad development. And so he started using a lot of box squats. And so I'm, again, just trying to add that in. So we did 3 sets of each one of these. So I think it was 3 sets on the reverse hypers. Actually, I might have even cut it short and only done 2. So we did the reverse hypers, we did the belt squats, and finished with this ab wheel. And again, I wound up cutting these ab wheels short too because I felt like almost I was going to get into an injury if I didn't slow down a little bit because my body was just so beat up. But that's why you take deloads. So anyway, that's the workout, guys. Thanks for checking it out, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.